Winners and losers have the exact same goals. Every Olympian wants the gold medal. Every candidate wants the job. Every startup wants to go public. So, if the winners and losers share the same goals, the goal cannot be the thing that makes the difference. James Clear argues that we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. You don't have a motivation problem, you have a system problem. Atomic Habits is the manual for fixing that system. Forget about setting ambitious goals for a moment. Here are 10 practical lessons to build a system that makes success inevitable. Lesson 1. The 1% Rule. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Most people think success requires massive action. We convince ourselves that massive success requires massive effort. James Clear disagrees. He argues for the 1% rule. If you get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. But if you get 1% worse each day, you decline nearly down to 0. The math doesn't lie. A slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination. It's like a plane taking off from LA. If the pilot adjusts the nose just 3.5 degrees south, you land in Washington, D.C. instead of New York. Don't look for the big break. Look for the tiny adjustment. Lesson 2. Forget goals. Focus on systems. Winners and losers have the same goals. We are taught that the best way to achieve what we want is to set specific, actionable goals. But here's the problem. Winners and losers have the exact same goals. Every Olympian wants the gold medal. Every candidate wants the job. If the goal is the same, the goal cannot be the thing that differentiates the winner. The difference is the system. A goal is the result you want. A system is the process that gets you there. Goals are good for setting direction, but systems are best for making progress. If you're a coach, your goal is to win a championship. Your system is how you recruit players and run practice. Fix the inputs, and the outputs will fix themselves. Lesson 3. Identity-based habits. True behavior change is identity change. Imagine two people resisting a cigarette. When offered a smoke, the first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." It sounds reasonable, but they still believe they are a smoker who is trying to be something else. The second person says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." It's a small shift, but it changes everything. This is an identity-based habit. Most people try to change their results without changing their beliefs. James Clear says the goal isn't to run a marathon, the goal is to become a runner. The goal isn't to read a book, the goal is to become a reader. Once you change your identity, the habit becomes effortless because you are just acting like the person you already believe you are. Lesson 4. The habit loop. Every habit follows the same 4-step pattern. Cue, craving, response, reward. To hack your brain, you need to understand its source code. Every habit you have, good or bad, follows a 4-step loop. First, the cue, a trigger that tells your brain to initiate a behavior. Second, the craving, the motivational force behind the habit. Third, the response, the actual habit you perform. And fourth, the reward, the satisfaction you get. If you want to build a good habit, you have to optimize these 4 steps. Make the cue obvious. Make the craving attractive. Make the response easy. And make the reward satisfying. Conversely, to break a bad habit, do the opposite. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Lesson 5. Make it obvious. Habit stacking. The best way to start a new habit is to tie it to an old one. Many people think they lack motivation when what they really lack is clarity. They say, "I'm going to work out more," but they never say when or where. James Clear suggests a technique called habit stacking. The formula is simple. After, current habit, I will, new habit. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. After I take off my work shoes, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. You are piggybacking your new habit onto a neural pathway that is already strong in your brain. Don't leave it up to willpower. Leave it up to your routine. Lesson 6. Make it attractive. Temptation bundling. The more attractive an opportunity is, the more likely it is to become a habit. Our brains are dopamine addicts. We are motivated by the anticipation of a reward, not just the reward itself. To make hard habits stick, use temptation bundling. This links an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, only allow yourself to listen to your favorite true crime podcast while you are at the gym. Only allow yourself to check Instagram after you've completed 10 sales calls. You are using the want to pull you through the need. By bundling a pleasure with a chore, you make the difficult habit attractive enough to actually get done. Lesson 7. Make it easy. Environment design. Environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. If you want to play the guitar, but it's kept in a case in the back of your closet, you'll never play it. If you want to eat healthier, but there are cookies on the counter, you will eat the cookies. This is the law of least effort. Human beings are wired to conserve energy. We naturally gravitate toward the option with the least amount of friction. So, redesign your environment. If you want to run, lay out your clothes the night before. If you want to drink water, fill bottles and place them around the house. Reduce the friction for good habits and increase the friction for bad ones. Unplug the TV. Hide the junk food. Be the architect of your world, not the victim of it. Lesson 8. The 2-minute rule. Make it so easy you can't say no. The hardest part of any habit is starting. To overcome procrastination, Clear recommends the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Do not set a goal to read 1 book a week. Set a goal to read 1 page. Do not set a goal to run 3 miles. Set a goal to put on my running shoes. You are mastering the art of showing up. A habit must be established before it can be improved. You can't optimize a habit that doesn't exist. Once you've started, it's much easier to keep going. But you have to lower the bar so low that you have no excuse not to jump over it. Lesson 9. Make it satisfying. Immediate rewards. What is rewarded is repeated. What is punished is avoided. Here is the problem with modern life. Bad habits often feel good immediately, like eating a donut, while the consequences, gaining weight, are delayed. Good habits often feel bad immediately, like going for a run, while the rewards, health, are delayed. To stick with good habits, you need to add an immediate reward. If you're saving money and skip a purchase, immediately transfer that money to a savings account labeled Trip to Europe. Seeing that number go up gives you a hit of satisfaction right now. Use a habit tracker. Crossing an X on a calendar is satisfying. Never break the chain. Make the success visible. Lesson 10. The plateau of latent potential. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions, which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. Why do we quit? We quit because we work hard for a month and see no results. We hit the valley of disappointment. We expect progress to be linear, but it's not. Clear uses the ice cube analogy. Imagine an ice cube sitting in a room at 25 degrees. You heat it to 26. Nothing. 27. Nothing. 28. 29. 30. Still nothing. But at 32 degrees, it begins to melt. All the work you did heating it from 25 to 31 wasn't wasted. It was stored. If you are struggling to build a habit, you haven't failed. You just haven't broken through the plateau yet. Your work is not wasted. It is being stored. Stay the course. If you found these 10 lessons helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching, keep reading, and I'll see you in the next summary.